A while back, the Diecast Misfits released their build schedule for 2023, and I saw that the February build was a pink/Valentines theme. And I was looking around on the bench, and I had this Redline Ford Mark IV, obviously a little beat to hell, that I've been wanting to get to. And I hate to admit this, it takes me a while to get these things done. I I don't do any of these quickly, even though some of them may look like it. Anyhow, I thought for their invitational, this would be great to take this typically just red enamel, old red line, and give it a kind of pseudo spectraflame pink look to it, or something close to that. All the parts are there on this. I mean, the wheels, two of the wheels are gone, but at least it has the back cover on it. The glass is in good shape. I got the body out of the stripper, and it's not terrible. It's a little splotchy, that's unfortunate, but hit it with the buffing wheel, and it's already looking better at that point, as you can see. And I hadn't polished it at that point. That's just the buffing wheel. And so I thought, yeah, I'm going to go with the pink for this. So at that point, I decided, okay, I'm committing to this thing. So I'll, drill and tap the posts, the super tiny posts on these old red lines. And, these are the 172 screws as opposed to the 256 that, I don't know, they just seem huge when you hold them up to the 172s. These posts just seem so darn tiny. But, you get the hang of it like anything else when you do enough of these things. And, even if you're a little twitchy, you can you can still do them halfway decently. So got this thing drilled and tapped, got a couple screws in there, temporary ones for the time being while I'm working on it. After I polished this one time, I realized, and that's a light polish that I had given it already at that point, but then I realized I needed to sand it down. There were still some rough areas, some splotchy areas. Went over that with a 3000 grit sanding sponge. While I'm thinking about it, I'll mention the YouTube-y things. Like, if you like these videos, like it. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. That's enough of that crap. Anyhow, back to the car. I really like these sanding sponges. They're just great to work with. And I've got them in 3000 and 1500 grit. And I find that I use the 3000 quite a bit. But I use the 1500 less because I use regular sandpaper in those instances more often. So now I got this sanded and then went off and polished the heck out of it. And there you see it after polishing. That's as good as I could get it. And I was pretty happy with it. There's still some areas that aren't perfect, but I cleaned it off with the IPA and it's time to paint it. I hit it with translucent pink Tamiya, the PS40. And that's the clear also that I went over it with after the decals were on. But there you see it after it had been painted. And, naturally it's not a true Spectraflame paint, but I really like the Tamiya translucent sprays. They turn out really well. I'm very happy with them. I did have a decal set as well from Second Chance. And this is their SCR 0722 set. And I bought those a while back when I was just planning on doing a straight red restoration of this one. And I wasn't sure I was going to put them on the pink. And then when I put this first one down, I kind of, after seeing how the pink turned out, I thought, man, this is going to look good with the decals. But let's see how it goes. And once I put that first decal on, I was really happy with it. I thought, yeah, I'm throwing the decal set on here. And as usual, Second Chance's decals go on really easily. I make it look a lot more complicated than it actually is. But hell, I'm old. um, but it's a nice decal set that they give you. And there's actually more decals and varieties of decals on that sheet. I could have chosen something more elaborate for the sides that they included, but I didn't think it would look as good on this particular one. So you'll see how all the decals I end up putting on this. The glass was in great shape. I can't complain about it. After I washed it up, I did hit it with a little flitz. I'm not really sure why. It was in great shape. For an old car, I think it kind of depends on the shape of the car as to how much abuse the glass gets. And there isn't all that much glass exposed on this, so there wasn't that much to really get damaged. I think a lot of other areas of the car took the abuse that, maybe the glass would get otherwise. So after that, it's gauzy, gauzy, gauzy time. For those of you waiting to take a shot every time I say the word gauzy, I don't want to say gauzy too many times because, I don't want those of you who are playing the drinking game still. I can't believe some of you still are. And then some of you I know are going to play this game forever. But I gauzy, gauzy, gauzied it. There's a few more shots. Wick off the excess with the paper towel. Throw it in the little plastic protector there just to keep lint off of it while it dries. And these actually, even though I usually let them dry overnight, they dry surprisingly quickly. Then it was time to cut off the two, I won't say good wheels, I'll say the remaining wheels that were on here. So just use some nippers to cut those off. And I do have replacement wheels that I picked up. I got the wheels, as I recall, from Bright Vision, the replacement. They're the deep dish ones that I really prefer. For the base, I did not polish the base. What I did is I just went over that with the buffing wheel. And I wanted it to have just a brushed look to it. And I like that on this. None of that shows. It's all hidden under the car. There aren't any areas that stick out as chrome pieces. So to me, it seemed like there was no real reason to polish it since I'm not trying to simulate chrome anywhere. And I thought just like a brushed aluminum base plate to this thing, just sealing it off, seemed like a kind of cool way to go. I did clear coat that as well. So there you see the body after the clear coat. The decals were finished. I just went with the numbers on the side. No elaborate striping that also was included as an option with that decal set that I purchased. The glass just snaps onto the interior, which was kind of cool, the way it just kind of, I washed both, the interior out as well. Then it just clips on and you can drop it in as one piece. That's really nice. It just seemed like it was well designed. So just drop that in there and then drop the base on it. Not too tough, huh? The hardest part is putting those super tiny little screws on the screwdriver. So, that's where this ends up. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. So there's where we started, and in a second you'll see where it ended up. I do want to thank the Diecast Misfits for hosting this invitational. I love painting this pink. I don't think although this was released in some Spectraflame colors, as I recall, I do not believe pink was one of them. So this is a resto mod of sorts. And there's where it ended up. So like I was starting to say, I do want to thank the Diecast Misfits for hosting this event, and I'm looking forward to participating in more of them throughout the year. I hope you like how this turns out, and I think it turned out pretty well. I hope you like it too. I tried to stay somewhat true to the way the original was painted. I didn't paint in taillights. getting the decal set, particularly on the front, because of how it drops in and stuff. It's kind of interesting. So I had to choose the placement carefully. So there you have it. Everybody, there's some glamour shots coming up, so I hope you like those. The glamour shots show more of the shine, where for some reason the turntable made it look more dull than it actually was, or is. So everybody, thanks for watching these videos. Stay safe and healthy out there. Check out all of the other builders in this event. And catch you in the next one.